Hi, it's Sandra here from createinspain, and today I received this package from Amazon. I ordered them about 4 days ago, something like that, and they came earlier than expected. They were due on Monday. It's now Friday. They came today instead, which was quite a surprise. Things don't normally come earlier than they should. So this is a package of Chromatek Watercolor Brush pens, 52 of them. Well, 50 are colours, and then you have 2 water brushes to use with them. Now I've opened the packet already and I have been playing with them a bit, but this is as it comes, and it also comes with this watercolour pad. Now this is slightly different because this watercolour pad, and it's quite difficult to see, I would imagine, on camera, has some patterns, or pictures I should say, some guidelines for you to follow, because Chromatek has video tutorials on the internet and it tells you where to find them on here. And this pad is designed for beginners to learn how to use the pens, which is, I think, a very, very good idea. There are 14 sheets in here, 2 which are plain. The rest have different designs on them, including the pear, which is on here. However, if you're already expert at this, simply turn it over and use the reverse side that doesn't have an image on it. So this is high quality watercolor paper. It's 300 GSM, A5 size, and it's as good as any other watercolor paper that I've got. So I'm very happy to have another supply of that anyway. When it comes to the pens, you'll notice that it comes in a nice plastic box and 2 pretty sturdy trays, in fact. I'll turn it around this way, a bit easier. Now, these trays could be used to store the pens as is, to take them if you're travelling or anything else like that, and just to keep them nice and tidy, keep them in the order that you want to keep them in. So it depends on how you like to keep the pens. And if I just put the outside container to one side, these are all numbered. You notice this is actually a water brush and it's got water in it because I put some water in it earlier on when I was messing around. And they are all numbered from 1 to 50. So this particular one is number 1, fluorescent yellow. So they're all numbered, and they've all got names on them as well. And I've checked out the names, and the names do seem to represent what's actually inside, which is always handy. And I have done some colour swatches, which I will show you in a moment. Now these are proper brush pens. These are not like felt tip type ones. These are individual bristles. They are very similar to this type of thing, which is the water brush. They have nylon bristles. Now I've got quite a few water brushes, and some of them I've had for many years, and they last really well. They're quite resilient, so even if you're planning on giving this set to a child, it shouldn't come to any harm. Now the colours are set up so that they are in a pretty good order, I think, as you might be able to see from this. Now this is a colour swatch. Number 1 actually starts down there to 25, because I picked up the second palette rather than the first palette first, if you see what I mean. So I've got 26 going to 50 there. So this is the first few. So we have fluorescent yellow, lemon yellow, yellow green, grass green, emerald. We have, what's that one? Bottle green. We have Persian green, a blue, Egyptian blue, sky blue, violet, rose carmine, bright pink, pink, golden yellow, orange, flesh. Now, I know the flesh looks very orangey. If I just zoom in, give you a closer look. We're still in focus, right. The flesh looks very, very orangey, but bear in mind these are watercolor brushes and the idea is you dilute them heavily. So what I did with these samples was I put a load of the straightforward colour down in the little boxes. I allowed them to dry and then I went in with a water brush and diluted the right hand side. So that's why you can see the different shades. And if you look on the right hand side of that flesh shade there where it's very slightly tinted is not a bad flesh colour. And you've also got the pink which you could use. So then we've got tangerine, vermilion, red, pear yellow. That's actually very representational of pear. Then we have dark brown, sienna and grey. Now this grey is a warm grey. And then we have black. And the reason black is there is because I made a mistake and I did one of them twice. So I'd only put out 50 of these little areas and I made a mistake on there. And there's the black underneath. Okay, so I've done that. But this is a warm grey, so it isn't what I traditionally think of as grey. It's more of a browny grey. But the first set isn't the only set, of course. The second set has a blue grey up here, which is more what I would consider to be grey. So then we have in the second box, we have a fluorescent coral, fluorescent orange. Then we go to olive and khaki and ginger, which are kind of related colours. Then we go into golden brown and deep yellow and marigold, definitely related. Dark cyan, which is a very dark blue. And then we have the blue grey. Then we have the fluorescent green. Hang on a second, I've got to zoom out again, haven't I? You can't see them all. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. We have the fluorescent green, the green, azure, turquoise, heron blue, fuchsia, pink, amethyst, byzantine, purple, midnight blue, midnight blue, light violet, carmine, and then we go to hickory and then Bordeaux, and that Bordeaux is definitely a Bordeaux wine type colour. So as far as I can see, the colour selection is magnificent. I am really, really pleased. I can't say, with the exception of bottle green, that I don't like. It used to be my school uniform colour, that's why I don't like it. I'm sorry, I got sick of bottle green. But apart from that, there isn't a colour in there that I don't like, which is highly unusual. Usually in most pen sets, there's something that I think, yeah, I can't see me using that much. But there isn't. They're all very, very usable colours. So I'm rather pleased with that selection. Now, they look like they're very well made. They also have transparent caps, which is really handy if you're trying to choose what your colour, what you want to use. And they've got the colour swatches on the ends as well. So they've got it covered in all ways. You've got the name, you've got the number, and you've got the colour swatch on the back, and a transparent cap so you can see exactly what you've got. And, you know, all these come out looking like they actually look like they should do, which again is quite unusual. So I'm really, really pleased from that point of view. I'm ecstatic. So, how do they actually blend? And the answer is brilliantly. They really do blend really well. I'm just going to pick up a couple of random colours here and just do a little bit of the blending. So I've got a blue and a pink. So this is actual pink. So there's my pink. This one is called azure. So put that on there. And now if I take my water brush and put water in between the two, and then go into the pink and go into the blue, you can see that they will blend very nicely. If you go over the pink, you will get a mauvey colour. I've got some kitchen roll here just to wipe my brush off. You'll find too that if you squeeze the barrel of these, most of the colour will disappear from the tip, so they're easy enough to clean. Although they do in the video suggest that you have 2 cups of water by your side, one with clean water and one which is your first dip to get most of the colour off. So you dip it in one, you dip it into another. I'm not doing this just for swatches. So if you want to blend them just without water, oops, just colouring my own fingers there, put it down like so, and there we are, you're blending. Now, one thing that you need to realise with these is that they are watercolour brushes and they have watercolour paint in them. So the idea is that you use water with these to mix and to create washes and to create flow. You don't use them like you use a marker and colour every inch of your item with this. You use them on the edges and you blend the colours together. You go from light to dark if you want to. You can change, from one colour to another. But you're not supposed to be colouring in like you would with a felt tip or a marker. Okay. If you do that, you will go through your colours much faster because these are concentrated. They're designed to be watered down. And if you don't water them down, you'll just use them up quicker. And yeah, that's not really how they are supposed to be used. But, it's your choice if you want to replace them more often. So that's how they're actually used. I have a little demonstration just here of a rose stamp that I coloured in. And that took me all of a couple of minutes to do. It's really, 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 really simple. And it's so easy to get great results. There's nothing difficult about using these. Now, I mentioned if they were given to children. Now, I happen to think that this is a great way of introducing children to proper watercolour paints and watercolour techniques without the mess. Okay, we all know how children can get into a complete and utter mess with paints. And yes, you can obviously get into a mess by putting this on your clothing and your hands and this and that and the other. And yes, things are probably going to stain. But it's a lot more containable than it is if you have children playing with paint pots and palettes and so on and so forth. Now, speaking of palettes, the other thing that you can do with these, like you can with a normal watercolour, you can take some colour. I've got a glass worktop saver here. You can put some colour down like that. You can add extra water to it, so I'm going to squeeze some water out here. There we go, get some water out. And you can make washes to do larger areas. So as you can see from that, that's a very, very pale colour. Okay, so that's how you do your large areas if you want to do it. Add a drop of water. You can do it on a plate, you can do it in a palette, you can do it on a glass worktop saver like me. You can do it on a white tile if you want to. But you can use that method to colour in larger areas than you would if you were just using a brush to do it. And if, for example, I want to give that some shading, I can come in, put some olive green around there, and I can take my water brush and I can put some water around the edge of that area and just gradually pick up a little bit of colour and reactivate the darker colour, and it will bleed into the water that's put down. like so. You get some very, very delicate effects. Now, when it comes to learning, I've had a look at the tutorials, and the ones that I've seen are the ones that come ready for this particular book. They look like they are very easy to follow, they're nice and clear, they're well set up, and the results are stunning. So, you know, if you're thinking of learning how to do watercolouring but didn't want to buy lots and lots of different equipment and things, you want to give it a go and you want to try it out, this is an excellent way of doing it. And certainly if you are going to be shopping for a present for someone who was arty crafty, I think this would be a great gift. Now, I intend to use mine largely for card making, so I'm anticipating using these quite regularly in the near future, and I hope to be able to give you an update as to how well they last, whether, you know, they are drying out after a couple of months. I don't think they will be. I think they're going to be going for quite some considerable time. And as I said, this is a set of 50 colours plus 2 water brushes, and I don't think that there is a colour that I'm going to need to make that I don't have here. And that says quite a lot, really. So yeah, I'm thrilled with this. I am extremely pleased. I'm really looking forward to testing them out and using them a lot. I thought I'd show you because I know that a lot of people like to see reviews of products. I'm not being paid for this. There is actually a competition that you can go into on their website to get free product. I'm not even bothering to do that. I've got what I want, you know, what else can I say? Yeah, so I will put an Amazon link in, so if you want to give them a go, you can. And the price of them is extremely reasonable for the amount of colours I've got there, plus the pad. I think for me it was about 30 euros, and I'll have to check the price on Amazon, but I think it was something like $28 or something. I'm not sure. But considering there's 50 colours, plus 2 water brushes, plus a tray to keep them in, and the case and the pad, that is very good value. So there we go, that's it. That's what I think of these so far, and I think I'm going to love using them. Take care now.